What's up everybody, my name is Dwight and welcome back to GeForce Garage. I've always been a big fan of people that use real wood inside of their PCs. Jeffrey Stevenson and Brandon McCarthy take that idea to the extreme and build whole cases out of wood. Well, we have another name to add to that list, Dani Burbidge, who has brought us her new build that took second place in the scratch build category at QuakeCon 2018. She calls it Frank Lloyd Wrong. Well, welcome to GeForce Garage, Dani.
Thank you for having me.
So what did you bring today?
I brought my Frank Lloyd Wright inspired computer case that I built from scratch. Before this, I had only ever bought pre-made off-the-shelf computers that kind of crapped out every few years. And after my husband, Pierce, made his Bastion build from scratch for QuakeCon last year, I just got real excited about the process, so I decided it was time for me to do a proper computer for myself. So that's kind of the mindset I went into doing it.
Very cool. So what was your actual inspiration to go with something like this?
I am a registered interior designer, so I have a love for architecture, design, interiors, anything of the sort. So I wanted to incorporate that somehow. Kept coming back to Frank Lloyd Wright, which is my favorite architect and probably one of the most well-known ones. Most people will know him for Falling Water in Pennsylvania or the Guggenheim Museum in New York. He didn't just do the architecture, he did the interiors, he did the furniture, he did stained glass, he kind of did it all. So I took inspiration from his furniture along with his overall design aesthetics.
So how do you even get started with a build like this?
I started with a blank slate in SketchUp and kind of played around with the style, how I wanted it to look and portray his design, while also trying to incorporate the technology, the components, the wiring and things like that. And so one of the big things was I wanted to hide the wiring, the cords and things like that, because I don't think he would want to see that. It would deter from the design. So I have it where there is a hidden channel in the middle of the computer where I feed all the cords back behind the parts so that they're completely hidden, but I am able to pull out the other side completely if I need to access those wires.
So you designed everything in SketchUp, and then what, you just cut a bunch of wood and put it together?
Yeah, easy as that.
Okay.
Yeah, I laid it out in SketchUp piece by piece to figure out how much wood I would need. And I started cutting down roughly pieces, leaving enough for me to kind of sand down, and started piecing things in to fit. So I would sand a little bit, fit it again, dry fit it, sand it, dry fit it, things like that.
And how'd you go about actually assembling all the wood together?
With Frank Lloyd Wright, you didn't really see any hardware, you didn't see any nails or knobs or things like that. So it's all glued together. There is not any nails. With the stained glass doors on the sides, they are hinged. They will open up completely, but I did do hidden hinges so you don't see them.
You made this stained glass. This isn't just something that you just bought.
Right. The design itself is a Frank Lloyd Wright design. It's the tulip design. I did mod it to fit the size I was needing. I laid out the actual design in AutoCAD and printed it so I could cut out each individual piece. Laid it on the glass, kind of traced it out, and then you score each line and then put enough pressure on it to break through that line and hope it doesn't break through the piece. Then you have to go through and solder it with a soldering iron and lead spool.
Well, it looks awesome. So how's the ventilation in a case like this?
Because it is a solid wood case, that was one of my main concerns. I did water cooling to help with a lot of that. The front is also a mesh screen to help with that extra airflow for the little bit of heat that comes off a little bit. But as I've had it closed, I have not had any issues with it overheating.
So if someone was just looking at this for the first time, is there anything in here that they wouldn't notice right away?
Yes, on the other side, because both sides are stained glass and they are both doors, the other side has a flip-out monitor. You just hook up your keyboard, mouse, headset, so it's like an all-in-one computer case.
Okay, well, it looks fantastic. What are the actual specs of the PC?
The CPU is a Ryzen 5 2700X. It has 16 gigs of Corsair RAM, a Thermaltake cooling system with hard tubing, and a GeForce GTX 1070 Ti.
Well, thanks, Dani, for coming by. I really look forward to seeing what you come up with next.
Thank you so much for having me.
Always a pleasure to have another scratch build on the show. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and we'll see you for the next one.